What's up? This is part 2 of the 2-part series on finding your passion. The first part was all about how to find your passion. So if you haven't seen that already, go ahead and check it out. I'll throw it up here. But now in part 2, we're going to talk about exactly why that's so important. And it seems obvious at first, but you'll want to stick around because I don't think it's actually as obvious as you think. I'm Michael Dennis, and I make videos about confidence, productivity, and happiness so you can get shit done and love every step of the way. Now, if that sounds like something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more content just like this twice a week. Now, most of this video is going to be based on the idea of the 10,000 hour rule, which you may or may not have heard of, and it comes from Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. Essentially in the book, Gladwell proposes that you have to do any activity for at least 10,000 hours before you can be really, really good at it. Now, since the time of him writing this book, there's been a lot of backlash against the idea. In fact, one study actually kind of debunked it and said that it's actually not as important as we thought. Basically what the study found was that it depends heavily on what type of activity you're doing, and they found that it was only between 1 to about 20-something% improvement. But at some point after that, he did an Ask Me Anything on the website Reddit, which, by the way, if you haven't joined my subreddit yet, r/Michael Dennis, you should go ahead and do that. It's a nice little self-help community where you can post about whatever you'd like, and I will answer, and hopefully other people in the group will answer as well. But anyway, in this Ask Me Anything, someone confronted him about the idea of there being backlash around the 10,000 hour rule. And to that, he said, "The point is simply that natural ability requires a huge investment of time in order to be made manifest." Basically, it seems like he's saying you need some level of natural talent, but in order to be truly good, you need to put in the work. So how are you going to put in the work? How are you going to be able to do something for 10,000 plus hours? Only if you love it. And guess what? The more you love it, the more you'll do it, and the faster you'll improve. For example, if you kind of love something and do it for like 1 or 2 hours every day, you'll hit those 10,000 hours eventually. But let's say you really, really love it and you do it for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. You'll hit that point 5 to 10 times faster. And also, don't think of it like you have one passion that you have to find, and if you don't find it, you're doomed. There are many things that you can be passionate about, just to different extents. And technically, as a side note, you can do something for 10,000 hours or more without loving it, but eventually you'll burn out or you'll just start to not enjoy life so much. And my entire thesis of this channel and of life in general is that you should get shit done and love every step of the way. For example, I think that's why some successful entrepreneurs and businessmen, kind of like Gary Vee, are so successful, because they really truly love the process of starting a business and of building a business. And they really enjoy the competition around that, the collaboration around that, everything involved in making a business. So they can easily hit those 10,000 hours because they just love doing it. The only difference with them and what makes them seem so special is that that activity that they really love happens to be one that society regards as something very positive, that if you can do that, you have totally made it and you are successful. And so that's why in my own life, for example, I'm 23 years old and I'm just now figuring out exactly what it is that I really like to spend my time doing, which means that if I keep doing these activities now for the next, who knows, let's say 5 years, imagine how good I'll be at all of those things 5 years from now. I just started YouTubing last year, so 5 years from now, I'll be way, way better at it, assuming I stick with it. Same thing with DJing. I just started DJing like a month ago. 5 years from now, I can say I've been DJing for 5 years. Same thing with working out. Although I've been doing that for a long time already, 5 years from now, I'll just be that much better. So I'm just thinking about it, it's like, even if I'm not perfect with these things right now, 5 years from now, if I stick to them, I will be way better. Essentially, I feel like I've made a lot of progress in terms of finding my passion, but now it's time to go confidently in the direction of my dreams, as that quote said at the beginning of part 1, if you still remember. Essentially, it's like I started in this midpoint, I'm looking around, I don't know where to run. Now I'm starting to get an idea of where to run, and I am about to book it. And who knows, maybe I'll end up losing some passions and stop doing some of these things and find new passions and end up doing those things too. But as long as there's at least one that I stick to for a while, I should get pretty good at it and I should enjoy it the whole time. I just need to be patient and trust the process. So before I wrap up, I just want to say, if you've made it this far, if you're this deep into episode 2 of this 2-part series, thank you so much. I really appreciate you Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you can get something out of this. So to sum up this whole 2-part series, you should try doing new things from as young of an age as possible, which by the way is right now, if you haven't already started doing it, so that you can become more self-aware, know what kind of person you are, what kind of activities you like doing, and eventually find your passion. Then try to narrow it down to like 1 to 3 of those things roughly, so that you can spend all your time doing those things. Which by the way should be really easy, pretty much effortless, because you love doing those things. And finally, just be patient and trust the process, because if you really love doing it and you stick with it and you do it enough and you love it enough, you'll end up being really good at it, and you're probably going to be very happy the entire time that you're doing it. Essentially, this means you'll be able to get shit done and love every step of the way. So hopefully these 2 videos have cleared up my entire thesis of this channel and of life for you, and now you understand what I mean when I say get shit done, love every step. And as always, if you like this video, go ahead and show me by giving it a thumbs up, commenting, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.